Hey y'all, Rick Sky here, and within this video I'm going to show you how to upgrade your reverse osmosis system, how to upgrade your RO system to a larger tank. Now keep in mind, if you have a smaller tank like the one that came with mine, it may be more than sufficient, but in my use case, I've got 2 ice makers and 1 water dispenser, and we drink a lot of water and we make a lot of ice. So at times, having this smaller capacity tank is not enough readily available water, because the reverse osmosis system will place filtered water in the holding tank. So for that reason, you can see this one is massive in comparison. I'm going to switch over to the physically larger tank. And by the way, you can expand this video's description and then click the links there to find the large tank like I'm using, as well as the reverse osmosis system like I'm using. I love this reverse osmosis system, but because of all the water consumption, the large water bottles that we fill up with RO filtered water during the summer, just needed something a little bit bigger. And this is definitely a lot bigger. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got a shut-off valve for my city water. It's up here off camera, so I'm going to turn off the city water temporarily while we do this. Okay, the city water is turned off. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is prep my physically larger tank. Now this tank, and you're going to need one of these connectors, and like I said, I've linked all this within this video's description. This tank came pre-pressurized, but if you wanted to check, you could use one of these and check it. I've already checked it. It's around 7 psi from the factory. I think that's probably optimal. Some people say 5, some people say 7. It's just, you know, it's kind of across the board. So we're going to get our connector here, because this tank on the top has a physically larger, let's just call it a nipple, physically larger nipple than the other one. So you use this adapter. This came in a 2-pack, so I'm going to save my second one in case something ever happens to my primary. So what we'll do is take off the protective piece that was installed for transport and then screw this on. Get it lined up, don't rush it, and close your faucet on the top. So close means that the little knob is not facing where the water line is going to go. Screw it on. Make sure you don't get any leaks. Now that I've done that, what I can do is remove the water from my old tank, my small tank. Before I do, I'm going to turn the nozzle or the knob on the old tank off so that water won't come out of the tank when I do this. And then I'm going to remove the hose. Keep in mind, when I remove this hose, there may be a few drops of water. So if you're concerned about that, I'm in a basement. I don't care if a few drops of water get on the floor. But if you're not, then you may want to have a bucket ready. See, that's all that squirted out. Now what I'm going to do is stick this in to my big tank, and then after I've stuck it in, I pull out on this. Oh, and it's latched, it's solid. Now, with that being in there, what you want to do, preferably you would have a cloth, but I don't have a cloth with me, so I just use my hand. Preferably what you would want to do is wipe this off with a cloth so there's no water. Now the reason you're going to do that, this tank will take a while to fill. It'll take a while for the reverse osmosis system to fill this tank. But as part of that waiting period, while you're waiting for your new tank to fill with water, you want to monitor, make sure you don't have any leaks. That's important. So wipe it dry, because when you check back in a half hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, you want to make sure it's not leaking. So now I'm going to turn the city water back on. So my city water is turned back on, and then finally I will turn on the tank. This knob is facing the water hose, indicating that it is now on. So the tank is on, the city water is back on, and now all we got to do is wait several hours for this to fill before we can use. In my case, I've got a water dispenser on my refrigerator. I've got the ice maker in my refrigerator. And then I've got a second standalone ice maker. So with all those devices, I want to let this fill for, actually I'm going to let it fill for overnight before I resume using my ice makers and water faucet. Now, as a curiosity, and the main reason, and this right here, the main reason I replaced this wasn't necessarily the capacity, but it was the PSI. This tank, because it was several years old, it finally degraded, and it didn't have enough PSI to pump water at an acceptable flow rate to the ice maker and the refrigerator. So I'm just going to put this out of the way because I'm not going to use it anymore. I've upgraded and I'm replacing it. Putting that out of the way, and then I'm going to move this closer to the wall before it's filled up. See, that's something you may not have thought about. It's like, oh, well, I've connected this, and then you try to move it later when it's got, what is this, a 14-gallon tank? When it's after it's got 14 gallons of water, that's going to be pretty heavy to move. So, you know, thinking ahead, and then also, we're going to mop up that floor. Where I spilled that tiny amount of water. Mop it up, make it look nice. And then probably slide this over this way a little bit. I'm going to move the hose over there so it's not in the way of my tools. And then mop this side up. Nice and clean, nice and fresh. And after filling up overnight, going to have for our use case, a constant supply of water, because that tank's going to provide plenty of reserve. Hope this video helped. If it did, like this video, subscribe, and ring that bell, and check out all my videos. And if you're shopping for a reverse osmosis system, a tank upgrade, PSI meter like I use, other accessories, expand this video's description and then click the links there. And if this video really helped, not required, but deeply appreciated if you do, you can choose to send me a super thanks. To do that, click the thanks button down below this video, and you can send me a small tip to support videos like this one. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Iric Sky here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.